Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about Doja Cat's humiliating Met Gala interview, Kendall Jenner's questionable no pants look, and Meghan Markle's family coming together to speak out against her. Okay, so someone said Doja Cat was giving major theater kid vibes at the Met Gala, and I have to agree. You cannot deny that she was fully committed to the bit, but it just so happened to make for one of the most awkward interviews ever. She really went all out with her outfit and dressed up like a cat, complete with facial prosthetics and everything. But what came from that was a viral clip of her speaking to Emma Chamberlain during the red carpet livestream. When Emma asked her about her outfit, Doja replied with a meow, and it just got worse from there. For every question that she was asked, like who made her dress and what was the inspiration, Doja just meowed at her. It was nothing but cat noises the entire interview. Eventually, Emma realizes that she's not going to get any straight answers out of her and moves on. That clip now has 15 million views on TikTok, and it sent fans into a tailspin. Some people think that Doja was being very disrespectful because Emma was trying to get a real interview out of her, and others just thought the whole thing was hilarious. Someone wrote, "If that was me, I would have walked away after the first meow." Another person said, "Guys, it's not that deep. She's being in character and it's funny." But one thing everyone can agree on is her incredible outfit. The rapper wore a white sequined catsuit gown which was form-fitted to her body and wrapped all the way around her head. At the top were cat ears and a jewel chain over her forehead. She also finished things off with fake nails that were shaped into claws. But the craziest part about the look was definitely the facial prosthetics. Doja's makeup was crafted to look like she had a cat nose that was connecting to her upper lip. It really gave the impression of a mesh between human and animal. But she wasn't the only one who came dressed as a cat. Jared Leto showed up in a full-on mascot costume before revealing his final look in black. He was specifically dressed up as a blue cream tawny Berman breed. At first it seemed like no one on the red carpet recognized him. He took advantage of that and started dancing around and taking pictures with everyone. There was even a viral video of him photobombing Anne Hathaway before he took off the headpiece and revealed himself. Overall, his catsuit was a major hit among celebrities, and he clearly got some good photos out of it. But when it comes to the different Met Gala looks, you might be wondering what's with all the cats? Well, both Doja and Jared Leto were dressing up as Karl Lagerfeld's legendary white Burmese cat Choupette. He always had quite an emotional tie to his pets, but he especially loved Choupette. In 2013, he even told CNN that he wanted to marry her. Karl also created an Instagram account for her which has 235,000 followers. In fact, he loved Choupette so much that he apparently left her a sizable inheritance when he passed away in 2019. Although it has yet to be distributed, it's said to be somewhere around $2 million in assets. So yes, this cat is not only a fashion icon but also a soon-to-be millionaire. There was also a ton of other outfits from the night that has nothing to do with cats. Kim Kardashian made her 10th Met Gala appearance wearing a skin-toned Schiaparelli corset. The gown consisted of a draped skirt and a top made from more than 50,000 freshwater pearls and around 16,000 crystal pearls, which took a dozen artists 1,000 hours to craft. As you can probably imagine, it wasn't easy to walk in. Videos from the red carpet show Kim struggling to move around in the dress, and she needed assistance from several people just to make it up the staircase. To make matters worse, she later had a pretty big wardrobe malfunction. Kim made her way back to the hotel by car, but when she was stepping out of it, a few strings of pearls towards the bottom of the dress came undone. The pearls then spilled all over her feet onto the street. Despite the messiness of it all, she just kept walking, probably because it wasn't the first time that night that some of the pearls had come off. She ended up speaking to Vogue on the red carpet and admitted that she told North to pick up the ones that fell on the ground. She said they're real pearls, so she was putting them all in her purse. She also explained the vision behind her dress. Quote, "I wanted pearls. I thought, what is more Karl Lagerfeld? You know, the iconic Chanel pearls are what I always thought of. So we wanted to just be dripping in pearls." After wearing the controversial Marilyn Monroe dress to last year's Met Gala, she insisted that she didn't feel any pressure to one-up herself this time around. Apparently this year she just wanted to feel glamorous and have a good time. This does make a lot of sense given the huge amount of backlash that she received last year. She wore the dress that was worn by Marilyn Monroe herself while she was singing Happy Birthday to President Kennedy in 1962. The reason why people were so enraged by this was because it didn't actually fit her. The dress was tailored specifically to fit Marilyn at the time, so in order for Kim to fit in the dress perfectly, she went on a strict diet and forced herself into the gown. But of course, she did end up damaging the dress simply because her proportions just didn't work. So most people didn't want to see her attempt something like that ever again. Not only did she ruin such a culturally significant dress, but she also managed to promote crash dieting at the same time. It was just such a disaster. Thankfully, Kim has stayed away from all of that this year, and the worst thing that happened to her dress was losing a few pearls. This time around, it was actually her sister's outfit that turned the most heads, and it probably had something to do with the fact that she wasn't wearing any pants. Kendall wore a sequined black bodysuit with exaggerated floor-skimming sleeves and nothing on her lower half. The glittering one piece was topped with a crystal-embellished collar and sky-high platinum boots. This made her look twice as tall as Kim when she was standing next to her. As for the glam, Kendall kept things very sleek with a high ponytail and nude makeup, and instead of bleached eyebrows like last year, she went back to her natural bold color. Her look was accessorized with Lorraine Schwartz jewels, which really pulled the whole thing together. And it's really interesting to see that she's continuing on with this no pants trend, which she started doing back in November. Last year, she was spotted out and about in LA dressed in a very interesting ensemble that some people considered to be indecent exposure. She was literally wearing black tights or stockings with visible underwear and a knit crew neck sweater thrown on top of a white t-shirt. The fit was perfectly complemented by a pair of dark sunglasses, as well as a black sardine bag and slingback shoes. She even had a bouquet of sunflowers under her arm for some reason. This look started a fierce debate on social media because some people thought that it was just completely inappropriate to be wearing on the street, but when you look at her Met Gala outfit, it actually makes a lot more sense. This year is Kendall's 8th appearance at the exclusive event, and it's clear that she's stepping up her fashion game every time she attends. And if anything, she's one of the celebrities that should really know how to dress for the theme. Out of all the Kardashian sisters, Kendall is the one who's worked with Karl Lagerfeld the most. The two of them have a history of creative collaboration, and they worked together on several projects. In May of 2016, Kendall gave an interview about him and said, "When you think of Karl Lagerfeld, someone that amazing, you sort of don't think that they actually exist. I met him at my first fitting for Chanel 2 years ago. I heard a lot from Cara Delevingne about how funny he is, how normal he is, and just a cool guy. Now every time we get to work together, the relationship gets better." Over the years, Karl has put her on the Chanel runway several times, and she even closed out his fall 2015 show in a bridal suit. Kendall was also one of the 10 models who paid homage to him in Vogue's 2023 May tribute cover. The idea of the whole shoot was to cast his legacy into the future. She wore a beautiful dress and posed alongside other models like Gigi Hadid and Naomi Campbell. Despite her rumored relationship with Bad Bunny, Kendall walked the Met steps with her sisters, and Bad Bunny walked the carpet alone. But the two of them were spotted out together in New York City in the week leading up to the gala, which means that they're still probably trying to keep things on the down low. They were also spotted getting close at Coachella recently, as photos were taken of them in the crowd together. There wasn't a whole lot of PDA going on, but at one point Benito was seen whispering something into Kendall's ear. In the weeks before that, they were also seen going on multiple dates and were photographed hugging and kissing, which means they are most likely together, but they're just not ready to make their red carpet debut yet. Once they do though, you can bet fans are going to react in a major way. Alright, now it looks like the drama with Meghan Markle's family has really been heating up. Meghan's father, half-brother and half-sister just sat down for an explosive interview with Channel 7. The three of them made a plea for a family reunion in exchange for never giving another interview about Meghan again. They agreed that they wanted to meet with her if it was a real get-together and not a publicity stunt. Thomas said she would be invited if she came walking out that door, and Harry would be invited as well, but her sister Samantha doubts that that will ever happen. She said, "I don't think she would do it without a motive. I don't think she's capable of empathy, remorse, or shame. I don't think she could feel enough to apologize." Samantha then slammed Meghan for not staying in touch with their father and claimed that she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for their dad. She went on to claim that Meghan and Harry are really unhealthy for each other and said that their relationship is toxic. According to Thomas, his youngest daughter never reached out to him since he suffered a stroke. He says this is what ruined their relationship the most. But he also has a lot of regrets about everything that's happened in the last couple of years. He said, "I wish we could just sit down and talk. I wish we could work out our differences. She loved me, I'm her hero, and suddenly I was thrown out." Meghan and Thomas's relationship completely fell apart right before her 2018 wedding, when he admitted to conspiring with a photographer posed for a series of staged paparazzi photos. He also leaked part of one of her private letters that she sent to him to the media. This ended up in a massive lawsuit in 2018 between Meghan and Associated Newspapers Limited, and after a lot of family drama played out publicly, Thomas eventually decided not to walk her down the aisle at the last minute. He later suffered a heart attack and ended up watching the wedding like the rest of us on TV. Meghan and Thomas haven't always had the best relationship, but she still hoped that he would show up for her big day. According to her book Finding Freedom, she was humiliated that he backed out of walking her down the aisle. These days, the rift between them is worse than ever. Later on in the interview, Thomas outright says that he will not allow Meghan to bury him when his time comes. He claims that she has not called him in 4 years, even when he suffered a debilitating stroke last year. media. He said, "If she doesn't turn up for a stroke, if that doesn't move her, what would?" As for her relationship with Samantha, things are even worse. Her sister ended up bringing a defamation lawsuit against her. Samantha claims that Meghan made malicious statements about her to a worldwide audience, as around 50 million people watched that interview. As a result, she claims that she was subjected to humiliation, shame, and hatred on a worldwide scale. During that interview, Meghan made various claims about their childhood. For instance, she said that she grew up as an only child and that she and her older sister were virtually strangers who had no relationship whatsoever. In response, Samantha said that this story was completely untrue, and she claimed that the two of them had had frequent and regular contact with each other over the years. She even accused Meghan of constructing a false rags to royalty narrative. Not only that, but in the Netflix documentary, Meghan claimed that she hadn't seen her sister for over a decade and had little to no relationship with her, but once she started dating Harry, she was suddenly everywhere in the media giving interviews to anyone who would ask. So with everything that's been said and done, do you think it's still possible that Meghan will ever reconcile with her family? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.